The Duke of Courland once sailed the Baltic Sea on a ship like this one. This is a reconstruction of the 17th century schooner, and it remains faithful to the original design. It's a dream come true for Captain Anatoly Malokhanov. He previously used it for fishing trips, but now takes tourists out to sea.
Well, that was Sweden, and this was Courland. The Duke of Courland was a shrewd businessman who set up companies and factories. He owned 3 shipyards for the construction of both trade and military vessels. He also had 3-masted ships with 100 cannon. Even the English were scared of his ships.
It's an adventure for holidaymakers, even if their sailing trip only lasts a few hours. The shot can be heard in the resort town of Jurmala. Latvia's answer to the French Riviera, it first attracted tourists over 200 years ago. The sandy beach stretches for over 30 kilometers. Jurmala soon became a meeting point for artists, intellectuals, and famous people.
When people ask me who's been here, I always say it's easier to list those who haven't.
The town owes much of its charm to its wooden architecture. Over 400 of the houses are listed. While many have been renovated, some are still in need of attention. They vary greatly in terms of size and style.
Whatever was in fashion in Europe at the time was reflected in the architecture of these summer houses in Jūrmala.
Not far from Jurmala is Kemeri, famous for its sulfur springs and healing mud baths. There used to be sanatoriums here, but the infrastructure collapsed with the Soviet Union. The hot springs form in the high moorland of Kemeri National Park, where visitors can take a 3-kilometer walk to get closer to nature. Agnese Balandina has been a ranger here for 4 years.
The fauna and flora of a raised bog is not very diverse, but you don't find anywhere else. You can also see some pines, but it never grows as big as a normal pine in the forest because it grows on this acid water. So these pines, some of them are more than 100 or even 200 years old.
Jurmala's open-air museum is testimony to the Latvian love of nature. Once a week, visitors are invited to sample home-smoked fish. The tradition is also upheld in many of the local villages.
We mainly get tourists from Russia, Belarus, Ukraine, and so on. But German tourists also come on the cruise ships.
Back in the town center. Come evening, after long days on the beach or in the thick of nature, Jurmala fills with people looking for good food and entertainment. And they don't have to look very far because the Latvian Riviera has it all.